this comic picks by the Glick. How are you doing?
Hey, yeah, I'm Jason Glick, and I'm your host.
He's the one the podcast named after, actually.
Yes.
Not his father, but...
But me.
Him. Okay, so, sir, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, John.
Great, great.
Yeah, it's like right.
Tell you that I actually purchased a full membership, or in other words, I bought full admission for PMX that's coming up. Just as a side note.
Okay, I mean, I have nothing against PMX, but it's like in the last couple of years I was there, it was kind of like, this is nice, but I could really be doing something better with my time.
Yeah. Well, I bought it when it was like $30, so I don't think that I was. I think I had $30 burning a hole in my pocket, and somehow I saw a Twitter feed or something from them, and they were like, "Last day to buy it for $30." I'm like, "$30? Yeah, okay." I sneeze $30 every now and then, so okay, I'll just buy it. I don't even know when I want to go, to be honest with you. So.
Well, let's see. Like, so what is that? That's just like is that the pass of the weekend?
Yeah, that's for the whole thing.
Yeah, so Saturday and Sunday at the LAX Hilton, or at least wherever they're holding it this year, because
LAX Hilton.
Okay, that's where it was the last time I went, and it's a very intimate con, because I mean, like, I have nothing against it. I mean, not that I dislike PMX, but it's just, it's like, I don't know, it's like I can't go there to buy stuff because the dealer's room is kind of for crap. I mean,
small,
it's big enough to have like a little something for everything, but you're only going to get like store selling like the newest stuff. You're not going to have anyone selling giving out for like really good deals, like half off bins, or just like really old rare stuff.
Yeah.
And let's see, that's when I was there. I think they held like one live action movie room, and it was just a really small con. Like it's like the second year it was at the LAX Hilton, and I remember like that year, first year at the LAX Hilton, they had like the entire basement cordoned off for like the dealer's room. Then the year after that, they moved it upstairs and they had like half as much space. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about here.
I went the first year. It was like they were alive. So
yeah, the one they had it at Anaheim where AX was.
Yeah, right, and it was small. Way too small for Anaheim Convention Center. So
yeah, it was basically cavernous.
Yeah, it was hugely cavernous. This would be my second. Yeah, I think this is my second visit. I'm still trying to decide what day. Report will be forthcoming. I'll try to pick some of the good ones, or if you guys hear of anything, I'll go on that.
If you're going to coordinate your plans to go, you're going to want to talk to Tara and Michael because they've been going every year because PMX does have a very strong lowly contingent, and Tara's all about lowly fashions.
Yeah. Yep. So what do you have for us tonight again?
All right. Well, this time I'm going to the world of webcomics. Now,
World of Warcraft? What?
World of webcomics.
Oh,
comics that are published on the web. Because it's like everyone used to do daily strips on in print. That's really on its way out in a sad and decaying fashion as possible. But for years now, it's like all the best, most creative stuff has been on the web. I mean, you've got your crazy weeboo Japanese antics on Mega Tokyo, which I really can't give a shit about. VG Cats, which for a while was a really spot-on savage video game satire, but now just seems to have succumb to its creator's writer's block. Penny Arcade, which is still fantastically going strong, and it's still one of the few comics I read every update, along with something positive and the Order of the Stick, and also Schlock Mercenary, which I've been meaning to get back into reading on a daily basis, but it's just a great, funny science fiction series that
I used to read a lot of different webcomics, but I kind of fell out of it.
Yeah, which ones?
Oh well, the only one that I read currently is XKCD.
Oh yes,
and I can't be without my dose of that. But I used to read Penny Arcade, pretty religiously, and then I kind of fell out of it. Every now and then, somebody will come up to me, "Oh, did you read Penny Arcade today?" I'm like, "No, and I'll read it. Yeah, that, and there was another one called General Protection Fault, more of a geeky kind of
Oh,
style.
yeah, I read that for a while too, and eventually it just, I don't know, it's like, for me, it just kind of lost me after a certain point.
Well, I wouldn't say it lost me, it just kind of fizzled a bit, because they started getting a little crazy, so I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, that's, yeah, and there are other ones that I'm definitely forgetting to mention, because I've forgotten them to time. But the ones, XKCD and the other ones I remember quite fondly though. So, and I do love VG Cats. That was awesome. But that he makes one every now and then.
Yeah, every now and then, and like it's like, well, the guy's he actually says he's got a book in the works for later this year. That'll definitely be worth picking up. The problem is like it used to be where he was like these comics would always be worth the wait. Now it just kind of feels like he's like, I don't know, it's like either he's completely lost passion for doing this, or he's just just phoning it in with these ones that he does like once every month if we're lucky.
Well, it's interesting because webcomics, and I hate to divulge your topic here, but
no, go on.
Pretty much the same. But webcomics, they don't rely on anybody, to be honest with you. Oh, there was Perry Bible Fellowship. I love that one too. But they stopped doing it too. Then what I was going to say is that I believe that if you had a regular comic that you were, wasn't there like an association or a union, and then they just get themselves in there?
There are like certain like collectives and like umbrella groups, like there's like Blank Label. There was Keen Spot for the longest time.
Right, but my bottom line point would have been that there's no one to represent them. They're not. Most people that make webcomics aren't doing it for the buck.
Yeah, it's like they are kind of like doing it for like maybe doing it for their the passion. Like they put comics out there and let people consume them. I mean that's kind of what Tycho has said about how Penny Arcade works. And the funny thing is with that is that with Penny Arcade, like I've read this in their books, I've heard it from the guys themselves that they were just like just doing this like hand to mouth for a while. I mean they'd have like the donation bar, the donation tab just to try and just trying to buy groceries for the month, and then they met up with Robert Koo, a businessman, and he's since become an integral part of their comic and their business, because like he's basically a businessman who figured, you know what, hey, I figured you guys can actually make money doing this, and in order to help you, I'm willing to go ahead and work with you for free until that happens, and after they started working with him, I mean. I wouldn't say it had any impact on the comic, but now like Penny Arcade is a huge brand. I mean, you've got the apparel, you've got games, you've got the expo on two coasts now.
And ESRB actually hired them to do custom artwork, correct?
Yeah, I mean it's like that's the thing. Penny Arcade they eventually stopped taking donations when they actually were able to just start making real money just doing the comic. I mean, and this is also the ads they put on their site. I mean, it's like they're probably kind of like the exemplar for how to make money doing this stuff. And God knows they've riled a few people like Scott McCloud, who was I should remember what his he was big advocate for microtransactions, making paying money just like paying like small amounts of money, like 25 cents just like for upkeep costs for people to view their view their comics. I mean, there was one collective that I wish I could remember their name that was big on this for a while. They had Shannon Garrity's Narbonic under there, which I heard was really quite good, but really it's like the inherent problem with that kind of model, that paying model, is that if you're going to charge people to view your comic, it's got to be better than what you're getting for free. It has, and so
exactly right. I agree.
Yeah, and so like that's the problem. Is like when you're competing against Penny Arcade, you're competing against something positive. You're competing against the Order of the Stick. You are competing against Girl Genius, which I will be talking about very very shortly. But that's the inherent flaw in the whole micropayment thing. Like I love like a lot of these series enough to including like Sherlock Mercenary, which I also have the books for. like to go out and keep buying their books. Like I've got all the Penny Arcade books. I need to get the most recent Schlock Mercenary book because that one just came out a couple months back. But the thing is, like Tycho said in his webcomics manifesto for the first volume of Penny Arcade, was that basically like, hey, you know, it's like if you do this if you do this long enough, if you're passionate enough about it and you're good enough, like people will want to support you, and that's that's the vibe. That really is kind of like what I feel what it is like. That's really true. I mean, of course, it helps to have to actually be a good businessman as well. And well, yeah, and I also keep forgetting Scott Kurtz for Player versus Player, because I've got a couple of his books, read that for a while, just kind of fell off when I switched jobs and didn't have as much time to read webcomics on my work computer. So. But
what you're saying is essentially endurance is the key.
Yeah, endurance and really, to be honest, being really fucking good for a really fucking long time. That's the core things. I mean, I think Penny Arcade is just as vital to read now as it was back in the day.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the key here. But today I'm talking about one series that started off as a periodic comic and then shifted to the webcomic model. It's called Girl Genius by Phil and Kaja Foglio. Phil is a comics artist who's worked like doing all sorts odd jobs for DC and various independent publications for years, and then he and his wife basically started self-publishing their own work, Girl Genius. Now, the short version is it's about this girl, Agatha Heterodyne. She starts off as your standard helpless and competent lab assistant. She wants to she wants to be like a brilliant scientist like everyone else at the university in at the university. But the thing is, everything she works always ends in disaster. Now, the thing is though is that we soon find out that she is not that well that her whole life has been basically a huge lie in order to protect herself from outside forces who would seek to use her. Because she's not known as Agatha Heterodyne. She's originally known as Agatha Clay, because the Heterodynes are a long-lived family of mad scientists with the spark. Now, the spark in this world is basically a sign of mad scientism. This is the kind of thing that basically has people going on to create wonderful things like the iPod and the iPad and all sorts of great things. And but there are also these crazy things hey, you know what? There's this dead body right here. Maybe I can reanimate it and bring it back to life. And then I can make even more, and I create an army to take over the world. Ha! They laughed at me before, but now they won't laugh anymore. See, that's the kind of thing that where a lot of bad sparks go. But the Heterodynes, they were all for years. They were some of the worst, most craziest scientists out there until the next most recent line. The brothers, William and Barry, wound up going around the world and just basically redeeming the Heterodyne name, saving making the world safe for everyone, and having lots of great adventures in the process. Agatha is William's son, but she's had to go under the name of Clay for years in order to hide her legacy from those who would seek to use her. These include, in no particular order, Klaus Wolfenbach, the head of the empire that's currently overseeing Europe. The spirit of her this is kind of hard to articulate, because her mother was also an evil spark, but then she decided to hook up with William Heterodyne, then decided to go, I think I'll try being good for a while. But for reasons that I am not entirely clear on, she's apparently left several copies of herself around the world, trying to bring her evil self back. So that's kind of confusing, but I'll go into that later. Klaus's son Gil, who is madly in love with her, Othar Tryggvason, who is a gentleman adventurer, and at first wants to kill her, but now wants to save her, and also Crosp, king of the cats, who, he's a genetically engineered construct to be the king of the cats, which he was. But the problem is, it's like being the king of the cats. It's like, it's kind of being like the tallest midget. I mean, like, yeah, you can tell them to do stuff, but 5 seconds later they've forgotten it and are chasing rats or something. So basically, the whole first arc of the series, which basically encompasses volumes 1 through 3, is basically Agatha coming into her own, finding out about her legacy, and essentially finding out that no, she actually does have the spark, not just any kind of spark. She's going to be one of the greatest. I mean, the series is basically like a real hero's journey in the sense that she's basically, you can tell that she's destined to change the world, if not save it. But seeing her come into her own and basically finally start to take control of her life and have good things happen to her is truly engaging. And then you've got the second arc, which basically has her hooking up with a group of traveling performers who are also sparks, but they hide their sparkness in order to save Wolfenbach's eye, because the thing is, like, Wolfenbach, he's basically a kind of like a means justify the ends kind of guy in terms of keeping control. I mean, like, he's kind of like, everyone else is such a goddamn idiot, so I might as well just go ahead and take over the world to make sure everything functions correctly. That's how Klaus Wolfenbach rolls. His son Gil doesn't quite see things that way, even though there's a beautiful moment, and I think volume 7 or so, where Gil realizes, holy crap, this is kind of like where he basically he's trying to fend off this huge assault on the city of Mechanicsburg, and he's astounded at the stupidity of the people attacking him, and realizes, like, you idiots! Like, wait, this is how my dad feels all the time. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful moment, and the thing is, what really keeps the series readable for the longest time is just the sense of humor that the Foglios demonstrate in the course of the series. I mean, you've got just their throwaway random bits, like the Spark who's a vampire hunter, Spark who can create calming pies, like these kind of bits, and as well as like their plans to just solve any kind of thing. And these random bits are more often not funnier than most other comics, intentionally humorous bits. I mean, just seeing all these people who, with all their mad scientist quirks, thrown together, and just especially in volume, I think it's volume 9, when Agatha and Gil are trying to work together in order to save this one other guy. They realize, well, it'd just be easier to go ahead and just kill this guy and bring him back to life. Oh, okay. That's the kind of humor that we're going at here. I mean, it's blatantly absurd, but not without a certain warped logic, and it's also full of great supporting characters. Because while Agatha is certainly worth building a series around, it's still fun to watch the relationship between her and Gil evolve. Because while you can tell that eventually they're going to wind up together, but that road is going to be rocky as all hell. But it's still hard not to Gil's father. At least, okay, I like Klaus because I like his I like his. I mean, the guy's got the right idea, even if he's a bit more violent and merciless than needs to be. I mean, Cross was great because I love. I'm a huge cat person, and hearing one talk about being the problems of being an emperor of the cats, and then you've got the Jaeger monsters, the henchmen of the heterodynes who speak in this crazy Germanic accent that's fun to sound out. I mean, that's another thing I like about the series, because just you can hear the characters' voices in the dialogue that the Foglios write. I mean, that's a sign of great comics writing. We can literally hear how their voices sound in your head, and also Phil's art, because Phil, I mean, this guy draws some of the greatest, most expressive cartoon art that you'll see. I mean, this it's hard for me to say that it's brilliantly expressive, wondrously detailed, but really the best way I can say to describe this to you is that when I was reading this series at work, people would pass by me and look and go, "Hey, that looks nice." So I mean, that just random people who generally don't have interest in comics, commenting on how nice it looks. I mean, that's That's how good this stuff is. Now, that being said, like I said, I really like this series, but there's also an issue with it as well, and you can spot this as the series goes on, because let's see, up until around volume 5, the series was published as single issues. Now that means you get comic book style pacing. So with that, you get. I mean, it's like you can basically spot the seams where each issue ends, and you've got like cliffhanger, and then it goes on right to the next one. Then it switches over to being a webcomic, and Girl Genius, it's published every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 times a week. So basically, the pacing starts to go a bit wonky, for lack of a better word. I mean, because with webcomics, I mean, you've got to make, especially with stuff like Penny Arcade, stuff like Something Positive. I mean, even if they are part of a larger story, okay, with Something Positive and Schlock Mercenary, there still has to be that kind of a sense of completeness in and of itself. I mean, each kind of strip has to be kind of like a gag unto itself. So I mean, on one hand, you've got that sense of completeness, that sense of satisfaction from seeing that one strip right there. But then you're also telling an underlying story as well. Now the thing is, with the in around volume 6, which is when the second arc ends, and they started doing this as a webcomic, you can see that they think the pacing started to stretch out more. I mean, they started giving more time over to how things played out. And that wasn't so bad. And then, now, I'm not necessarily saying how things turn out from volume 7 through 10 is bad, but here's the thing, because basically volume 7 through 10 are still one arc, and it's still ongoing. So basically, at this time, we are talking about a story that has been going on for at least 4 years. One arc. 4 years. I mean, that. I'm pretty sure, the Shonen Jump people in Japan even don't let arcs run for that time. I'm pretty sure. I don't think even Kentaro Miura would be crazy enough to let a story run for that long. But so that's the thing. I mean, even with all the great comic bits, the great character development, that's still kind of wearying. Because I'm reading as I was reading volume 10 yesterday, I'm realizing, wait. This volume isn't going to conclude this particular arc. This is going to go on for another volume, at least. So on one hand, you're kind of there's that kind of frustration, that kind of feeling oh, well, it's come on, it's been 4 years already. Come on, can't you just start wrapping this up now? Yeah, but I'm still willing to give it time. I still want to. I'm still enthralled by the characters and the mysteries, though. Well, let's say I certainly hope we get answers to some of them soon. Such as the mysterious abilities of Axel Higgins, the Wolfenbach airship crew, because the guy's got secrets up the wazoo. I mean, he's obviously a key player, but he's just so nonchalant and calm that he's not going to tell anyone why. So, but I mean, stuff like that. I mean, like I said, even though it's frustrating that this has been drawn out for so long. I mean, 4 years. Anyway, but if this is going to be this is meant to be a climactic arc of the series, which I kind of don't feel, because I feel that they've been setting up enough stuff outside of it for them to keep going. But I'd it's I just like some idea where they're going with this. Maybe I should start reading it online instead of just buying the trade paperbacks once a year from the Foglios at their booth at Comic-Con. Because if you want to, you can go see them. You can buy a copy. They'll sign it for you. They're great people. So, like I said, Girl Genius, great series. Volumes 1 through 3 and 4 through 6, complete stories. Volumes 7 through 10, still a work in progress, but still quite entertaining in and of themselves. Yeah, and Okay, and on that note, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. And chances are with all the stuff that's been arriving the last couple of days, I'll have plenty more stuff to talk about. But chances are for the next week or so, I'll be busy with Batman: Arkham City, which if it's as good as I've heard, then it's like that. There's a reason we're recording this on Monday, so I can spend all of Tuesday evening playing it.
All Tuesday?
I'm not taking Tuesday off. That's it's tempting, but no. It's like I always use my time off. I always burn off my time during Christmas break. But for Arkham City, I just want like a nice solid night to get through the install data, install the Catwoman content, and then just dig into it. Because like all the reviews I've heard so far of it have been absolutely glowing. Said it's even better than Arkham Asylum, and God knows, and if that's true, then wow. So I'll be digging into that, and on that note, we're gonna call it a night, everyone. Talk to you in 2 weeks.
All right, see you later.